Good afternoon to you. Do take it away. What do you have for us this hour?
Well, welcome back once again to Santon. One of the most important things that happen here at the BRICS Summit is that you don't only get to see the leaders who make up the member countries of BRICS, but you also get external people who get to be invited, prime ministers from other countries. And this is why this afternoon we have invited the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. He is the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and we've asked him to join us on the show this afternoon so we can get his views on what he makes of the BRICS and the evolvement of BRICS from when it first started and where it's going and what he's heard. Thank you very much, sir, for making time to speak to us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. First of all, your thoughts on the formation of BRICS as a group of nations. What do you think of it?
First, it's a powerful group of countries. It is an important balance in the world. And it is important to have a kind of college of similar states, similar states of development, facing similar problems, to create a buffer, to create also a kind of political statement about the need and intention of developing themselves, and to create a fraternity of common views. I think it's important as a political tool, a political statement, but it has evolved over the years to become more of an economic bloc, to create greater opportunities for trade, but more than that, to create the linkages for investment. And we see that China has made some announcements about making significant investments in South Africa. China is investing right across the globe. But it also creates, on top of that layer, the possibility for networking. I want to, at this point, say how honored Jamaica is, and I'm chairman of CARICOM. CARICOM being a grouping of 14 states in the Caribbean, to be asked to participate in the summit this year as part of the outreach initiative. It's very important to create an avenue for networking, to give time to countries who are not necessarily a part of the group to come and interact and engage. There are many issues affecting other nations, may not be affecting the BRICS countries because they're relatively large countries, but smaller countries have particular issues to do with vulnerabilities, climate change, access to trade, access to technology. And it is important to have the platform to bring these issues, to make countries like BRICS countries aware of these issues, to increase their sensitivity and their natural sympathy for countries like Jamaica, and to, based on that awareness, to inspire action that is positive towards global development, but in particular development of small states.
Prime Minister, one of the biggest talking points of this particular summit is the issue of the trade wars. I'm sure you are familiar, and I'm not sure to what extent that Jamaica is exposed, to trading with the US, and what its effect is. But what do you make of that? Because it is quite a big talking point within this grouping of countries.
Jamaica as a small state relies, and like all small states, on a global system. That global system has to be transparent. Small countries are not able to navigate a chaotic global system. So we depend on a system of trade, of finance, of security that is transparent, that is predictable, that is fair. So we always support a rules-based, fair, multilateral system. It is in our interest so to do. And the current developments in the global trade system, though they have not affected us directly as yet, because we don't know where it will go, we have seen signs and we are observing it very carefully. There are unintended effects. So, for example, we are a major producer of bauxite and trader of bauxite globally. It could have an effect, but so far it has not had a direct effect. Other things like sanctions have had effect on our country, unintended consequences. So for us, we're always more comfortable with a stable, predictable, transparent, rules-based global system. So we observe what is happening with caution, and we would always want to see a return to a rules-based, normal, transparent trading system.
While you are a relatively small economy compared to perhaps the BRICS countries that are represented here, what is your approach to the fourth industrial revolution that is coming to the world with a lot of speed, I must say?
We have to embrace it. We have no choice. Small economies like Jamaica lost out on the industrial revolution. Obviously, many of our small states were still colonies. We were not advanced in thinking, but now we're independent countries. We hold our fate in our hands. So we have to reach out and embrace the new changes in technology. One of the things that we are trying to do in Jamaica is to change the view of technology where we are only consumers of technology. We have to get our young people to start being producers, creators of technology, and to view technology not as something strange to them, but technology is within your environment and you can create it. And so there are many areas in which we can add value, create knowledge, and in particularly in the cultural and entertainment, in the intellectual property areas, Jamaica is doing fairly well, but we need to do more. For example, we're doing research in cannabis to create new drugs, and that could be one area in which we could be world leaders in this new fourth industrial revolution. But we still have a far way to go. Jamaica is heavily into services, and therefore we have to take a particular interest in ensuring that our young people are technology savvy, that they can apply technology to create products within the financial services area that could continue to make Jamaica grow in this regard.
One of the similarities with that South Africa has with Jamaica is its interest in tourism. You're quite a tourism-intensive country. We also have a relatively healthy tourism sector. What do you think what kind of lessons can we share, or experiences can the two countries share together? I know that in 2012 we signed a memorandum of understanding between the two countries, and I'm not sure what has happened since then to now.
We've had some exchanges.
Yes.
But more can be done. Tourism is such a great potential, and Jamaica has not exhausted its potential. I'm sure South Africa has not exhausted its potential. And I think there are areas of cooperation which could enhance both our countries. The first thing I believe is that we need to get the African continent to visit the Caribbean. We would love to have more tourists from South Africa. So there has to be, for that to happen, however, a commitment on both sides towards simple but necessary things. For example, airlift. We have to sort out the movement of people between our two countries, and we haven't done that over the years. My presence here is also to push for that. In terms of our discussion, I'll be meeting with your president, and I intend to raise that. It has been raised already. There are conversations going on, but I think we should get it more advanced because the Caribbean is, I think, the undiscovered part of the African region, and I believe that we should have more of our brothers and sisters visit our beautiful lands in the Caribbean. Certainly, I would invite you to come and visit us in the Caribbean.
Oblige. Thank you very much. The Honourable Mr. Andrew Holness, he's the Prime Minister of Jamaica. He's been in conversation with me about his views on the impending trade wars, his view about the tourism industry, and has invited South Africans to go and visit Jamaica and see what it has to offer. But it's been a really fruitful conversation that I've had with him right here at the 10th BRICS Summit in Sandton. Prime Minister, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And let me say how great it is to be in South Africa at the 100th celebration anniversary of my own personal hero, Mr. Nelson Mandela and Albertine Sisulu.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. And with that, it's back to the studio.
Thank you so much to our reporter there. That is Diabo Sito. She is live to us from the Sandton Convention Center where the BRICS summit is taking place. She was speaking to the Jamaican Prime Minister there. Many other countries have also been invited to be part, even though they're not necessarily a member of the group of five, namely Turkey, and you saw Mexico there.